What's going on, everyone?
Smashing that bass. What's up?
What's up, Bass? What else we got up in here? Is ready for this Monday morning, Monday afternoon conversation. We're going to be talking about all about vests.
Yeah, all about these vests.
Damn, even shit.
You know what I mean?
Already failed. I said I wasn't going to cuss, and I already dropped my first one.
And I didn't even cuss.
Hey, go, man. Hey, that's a box of ammo. Hey, so I guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna do the ammo challenge. Whoever cuts the most, gotta get that next prize winner, that next donation out of pocket.
We need to even talk about that. That thing is a pain in the butt. But anyway,
what's that? The ammo?
Yeah, nailing it, man. I got to go all the way to Chantilly. I don't never go that way.
Oh,
that's damn near half. Excuse me, that ain't a curse.
Well, no, that's not a curse.
That's almost the Ray House. That's halfway to Ray House.
Hey, man. Hey, the judges said on further review that was a curse.
It was not.
1-1. 1-1.
It's not a curse, man. Look, if it's in the Bible, it's not a curse word.
Man, there's lots of things in the Bible, man. What Bible you looking at?
Silverback, what's up? Silverback, what's up?
Silverback, what's going on? Before we go down
about this body armor tonight. We talk about this body armor. All these vests, you know what I mean? The old BPV, bulletproof vest. The old skilly skill. The old skilly skill. So this conversation bugs me out, right? First time I meet Skilly, you know, during the time I meet my man Tactical Skillionaire, man, he brings the vest. So we up in this hotel having a little meetup at this other little meetup. So I see this dude comes down, full kit out, right? Mind you, we're in like embassy suites, right? Where the baseball convention is going on. And my man come down with the big plate carrier, the daggone battle belt, and fluffy Walmart slippers for Chicago's Pittsburgh Steelers, Chicago slippers. So, like, who is that? That was my man Skilly Skill, man. Tactical Skill, you know, defense. Dope dude, man. Check out his live. And but we talking about plate carry. We talking about plate carriers and bulletproof vests for men and women tonight. If any of y'all got any questions that y'all want to just bring to our attention to address, because we've been talking about this for a while, and we found out that a lot of the information that's being put out there, even the advertisement, has been misinformed. And I found out stuff that I really didn't know. You know what I mean? And I feel if I don't know something, other people don't know. So we're gonna share what we learned. You know what I mean? So go ahead, Joe.
No, I mean, just a real quick history. Body armor, and I'll just use that term in loose terms. Body armor's been around ever since man's been fighting. We've always tried to protect our stuff from cuts, slashes, explosions, fragmentations, and now bullets, right? Some of the earliest body armor was just nothing more than chainmail that we see with the knights riding the horses and the lances, and just full sheets of iron, metal, what other hard materials they got when guys used to fight with swords. If you look at like the developments, say from the 400 BCs or 400 ADs up until about the 1300s when they started using gunpowder, then that threat became more against projectiles, right? So you got body armor against either fragmentation or bullets, whether it's musket balls and everything else. One of the issues that we ran into is that most of your body armor was, one, expensive, and only the knighthood or the people that's high up could afford it, right? And then it was also cumbersome. It was real heavy. It didn't allow for mobility, anything else. That's why, like, when you look at like all the knights, they had tenders that would go and help them get on their horse and everything else. So once we look at as technology advanced, we got better craftsmanship with metals. We learned how to make ores, right? Well, not ores, but we learned how to mix different ores to make them lighter and stronger, more ductile. Body armor has, got more affordable. Take a fast leap forward to like 1800s where they figured out, like certain materials, tight woven cotton, silk, and like if you would put beeswax on it and you would compress it, it would stop low velocity rounds. There's plenty of stories of one of the archdukes in Europe. He had a body armor that was made out of silk, right? He paid about $800 for it, today's equivalent of $20,000. Saved his life. A lot of reports of gangsters getting suits made out of silk, right? And it would stop low velocity rounds. The mechanism on that is the tightness of the weave, right? And that's one thing we have to look at, how tight that weave is and everything else that's going to prevent that bullet from going through. So, and that's the difference between body armor that's made to defeat bullets and body armor or vest that's made to defeat knives and slashing instruments, right? So now we get into the chemistry, right? We start getting geeked out by some of these Kevlar, designed in the 60s, brought to life in the 70s, everything else. The aramide fibers, right? Twice the strongest steel, a quarter of the weight. It's very, very pliable. You can mold into this, mold into that, right? So you start getting to the high molecular weight polyurethane fibers, right? They have the drawbacks. They're real light. They're flexible. However, they got a certain service life. In the early days, they were prone to degradation due to weather, right? Back in the 80s and 90s, cops didn't wear their vest when it rained, right? Because it would get brittle and it wouldn't work. Then you got the use of steel, right? During World War II, the Ministry of Defense, in their research, they started making flak jackets for the fighter and bomber pilots, right? And again, it was just fibers lined up and all other good stuff. And through science, technology requirements, wish lists, we started getting into lighter alloys, titanium alloys, right? And now you got the molecular stuff, the aramids. Kevlar is pretty much dead. There's a lot of stuff out there that's better than Kevlar. And, we go from the flexible soft body armor to the hard ceramic plates and steel plates that's rated for different things. Body armor in a nutshell.
Yeah, the crazy thing, like the stuff that I found out since we started talking about this topic, and we when some research that we've done on it, that I have done on the topic, that was enlightening me. So enlightening. And I was looking at like Kevlar, how they bond these fibrous materials together, whether it be Xylon or Kevlar or some of the more advanced stuff that they have here. And then I'm looking way back at what they used to do with leathers or chainmail. They just was weaving this chainmail together, or the Japanese would just weave these leathers together so that it wouldn't cut or the arrows wouldn't go through or whatever the heck may be, disrupt the flow. And I was like, it's they're still using the same technology with the same method with different technologies. They're weaving things together, they're putting plates, and I'm noticing that only the privilege or the people who had certain privileges were some of the people who were able to afford and have these extra protections. But these extra protections hindered them because they were so heavy and cumbersome, but those rich people couldn't really move. So they just stand there and send the dunnets over to fight and stuff. So it was crazy, man. And then getting some fit for women. Women couldn't really wear men armor, and it's sometimes the same case here. So there's some things with woman body armor that I don't see a lot being addressed out in the interwaves, because some of the women I see, they throwing on some men stuff, but that their bodies are very, very different miles.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, so there are quite a few companies that do cater and tailor towards body armor to fit people outside that 95 percentile, whether they're small stature men or females. So that has been addressed and taken into consideration. Um, it's out there, and later on throughout the chat, we'll pull up and we will show you where the references are to see what the standards are for body armor and everything else through the test organizations and everything else. Caveat to that is nothing's really written in stone. These are best practices, solutions, and everything else that's been tested, and everyone's agreed on it. So same reason why 12 inches equal a foot. My question is, how big is an inch? Someone agreed to it, and that's what we go by, right?
The standard.
That's the standard.
Yeah, that's what it's called, the standard. And but everybody has their own reasons for what they think of body armor. But I think just don't get hit. What you think, Ray?
Oh man, see, you living in the matrix, Armel.
Don't get hit.
You're living in the matrix.
Well, that's the truth. I mean, yeah, just don't get hit. Or keep yourself out of that situation. But I mean, you still got to think about, the states, what state that you're in, if your state allows it. Most of them do. I mean,
Not New York.
No, yeah, New York. Yeah, New York, unless you're, work for one of those professional, if you work in a profession that needs it, requires it, then yeah, you can have it. But look like California and I believe Illinois are both looking at, have something right now to take and ban it. But most of the states, you can own it.
Yeah, you definitely can. You definitely, and if you could afford it, get it. But like we said, man, you can't just go. Because I was looking at Temu too, and there's some cats on. I was looking at Temu, right? I was looking at, Temu, Ray?
Nah, who's Temu?
Damn, tell them who Temu is. Tell Pops who Temu is.
Yeah, Temu is like the new Alibaba, man. You might get something, you might not get it, and what you get, yeah, just stay.
Temu is the Chinese Amazon, man.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm looking at it now.
Temu, you get all kinds of ill stuff on there, boy. But they got body armor on Temu, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and they got fools on YouTube that's testing the Temu body armor.
Yeah. So and one thing I would say to this and everything else, and we talked about this on another live yesterday. What's their test standards and what's the test protocols and everything else? So that's something you have to be very mindful of, because I can take a piece of body armor, I can set it up, and I can just go ahead and shoot it and say, hey, this thing stopped all this and all that. But what I'm not measuring is the back face deformation. How far does that thing penetrate into your body cavity? Is that going to cause additional blunt force trauma? How many shots can it take? What ammunition will it stand up to? Keep in mind, a lot of ammunition is woefully underpowered. So if you run into someone that's shooting full powered ammunition, or someone that's shooting 9mm at very high velocity, it's going to penetrate your soft armor 9 times out of 10. Right?
So how do you determine the penetration? Or
what you mean the penetration? Say again?
How do you determine the
rating?
Yeah. How do you determine?
That's based on your requirements. Okay. Most cops in the U.S. will wear a level 3 vest, rated to stop some handgun rounds, not multiple correction.
So how many different levels are there?
Rated, so your level 3 is rated to stop some rifle rounds, right? Not multi-hit rated on rifle rounds. It's going to stop your 44 Magnums, your 357.6 at lower velocities. It's going to stop your 45s and your lower velocity 9mm. Now, keep in mind, those ratings and those standards was done back in 2007, 2008. Next year in June, I want to say they're going to update the ratings and everything else to take into account for higher velocity ammunition. Right now, I want to say there's 4 ratings. You got level 2, 2 alpha, you got 3, you got 3 out, you got 2 alpha, 2, 3 alpha, 3, and then 4, right? Now, some of these companies have come up and said, my equipment is 3+, right? And that's something arbitrarily that the company said. There's no official designation of that. If you go and you look at the NIJ standard, which is the governing body for all things body armor and stuff like that, they'll say company can call it what they call it, whatever they want to call it, right? But just be advised that it may or may not be tested within the protocols that's been established, that most of your police departments go with, that your governmental agencies go with, FBI, CIA, SWAT, all that stuff like that. So that's one thing to take into consideration when you're out there shopping for body armor. The company says it's 3A+, and it meets these standards. And words have meaning. Just because something meets these standards doesn't mean it was tested to those standards at an accredited lab or anything like that. It's just like, I can get you $8,000 on your tax return, but I am not a tax preparer. We're gonna get that money. We're gonna get that money.
So what about the Temu, man?
I'm looking at Temu right now, man. I mean, they got some hellified deals. I don't know if I trust them. Trust my life.
We tried them for like little tights and stuff for Zadie, and Cassian bought a blender, a little port hand blender.
Well, that's different, man. We're talking about vests. I mean, yeah, you go out there and get you a vest for $118. You can get you a
they don't got no NIJ certification in China.
They probably don't, but they selling vests. Okay, you can go out there and get you the protective cut resistant sleeves and stuff for $2, man. $2. I could see these YouTubers jumping all up on there talking about cut me.
Bass saying F no, man. That Temu, man. Messing with that Temu, man. But yo, it's your life.
That's it. Do what you want to do with it.
What you want to do with it. But if you really want to know, we could drop the link for. There's a place, like, say for instance, this is what happened, right? Personal experience. I bought plates, a plate carrier, and I bought some plates from this place called Guard Dog, right? So I get level 3 plates or whatever the heck, right? So you get level 3 plates. This stuff all over the internet. All your favorite influencers are testing this and shooting this stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, because I don't know. I don't know. It's like, let me get some of these plates, right? I get some of the plates. I got them on now. They nice, you know what I mean? But they say NIA rated, but it's not certified. They said it meets and exceeds NIJ standards, right? But that doesn't mean, like Joe said, that it's NIJ certified. That's why them daggone plates was so cheap. Instead of paying $400, you know what I mean, I'm paying half the price. So that's no different from shits I'm getting from Temu in all reality.
That's two. Got him.
That's not an S.
Yeah, whatever. All right. But anyway, so to speak of that, right? So the plates you have, are they soft plates?
They're hard plates.
So they're hard plates. All right. So also keep in mind, right, that your body armor has a service and a shelf life. So most of your soft plates, the research that I've done and seen, most of those lives are 5 years, right? Some are 7, some are 3. And again, the caveat to that is how often you wear them, what environment you wear them in, and how you wear them. Like, are you rough on your stuff? Are you keeping them in the trunk as your rollout, loadout stuff?
You store it.
How you store it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in a tropical environment? Are you down in Florida? Are you subjecting it to varying cycles of hot and cold? Because the hot will extend it, the cold will contract it and freeze it and make it brittle. So all that stuff that we really don't think about, but the manufacturer said, hey, we've conditioned this, we did this, we did that. 5 years. That's what I'm throwing on it. Your steel plates, right? And I'm just going to say steel as a generic term for hard metal plates, right? They're a lot more forgiving. You can drop them, you can bend them. They're not as much affected by hot and cold or heating and cooling cycles, right? Mm-hmm. The downside to those are that they're extremely heavy. They're not flexible. They're not really conducive to being very dynamic. But
the splatter.
well, you can get spall, you can get anti-spalling coatings put on them. And if you don't feel like spending that extra 50 or 60 bucks, go down to one of the big box stores to get that that bed liner and spray it on yourself. It's not going to be as effective, right? So here's the hack. You know that foam that you get to seal up the leaks and the drafts. You get some of that, put a thin layer of that on it, then you put that bed liner stuff on it, that epoxy, that'll help with the spall. But I mean, it's not going to be even, and it's just going to be a mess. But that's a hack if you don't want to spend the extra 80 bucks or whatever they're going to charge you.
Or the splatter, get the splatter bag, or with your trauma plate.
Yeah.
What about when you working in Leo, Ray? How did y'all handle that in the jails and all of that?
No, we didn't have body armor in the jail.
So y'all just walked around and them coons stab you?
Well, I mean, where I was at, we didn't have it. We didn't have body armor. So yeah, we took that risk of if something broke off, getting stabbed and everything like that.
Got shanked.
Yeah. Now, if we had to go in there and do an extraction, a cell extraction or something like that, then we had, body armor that we would put on. Those were 5-man teams. So you'd have the first man would have the shield. And then everyone after that, somebody would have the handcuffs. Another person would have the leg cuffs. And, we'd go in there and do a cell extraction. But as far as just every day wearing body armor, no, we didn't have it. Now, if somebody, I don't know if you could have went out there and purchased your own and wore it to work. I don't know. But we're talking about this was like, in the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Now with the police department, we were issued body armor. But I couldn't tell you what it was because I don't remember.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember to put it on.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of my family members are in the police department, and they generally wear like a level 3A, with level 3 plates. Because and I asked us, like, a lot of that stuff is like little pistol rated, but from what my sister explained to me was she what she carries, that's what she protects herself against. So she carries pistol, she carries a pistol, so that's what she assumes that's what her threat would have, the likeliness of her threat would be.
Yeah, and so going into that, right, if you look at like all the data and everything else, what people say is a lot of police departments would get their body armor requirements based off of the firearms that they would carry. Now, stepping it up, like what they do is they'll look at the possibility and the probability. It's possible that you might get hit with a thermonuclear weapon. The probability of that happening is very nil. So we know from the last year and a half, all the guns that we pulled off the streets and all the shootings and everything else were between 22 long rifle and say 10 millimeter, right? And then on the outsides, I might have had a 17 HMR that was, whatever, right? So I can kind of throw those away, right? I throw the tube to the left away. And on this side, I had a couple of people cacking off rounds with AKM 47s or Dracos or whatever, your typical 7.62 by 39, but it's not really likely to happen. So we're looking at, from your 32s to your 9 millimeters and your 10 millimeters, right? So that's what we're going to spend our money on. And then I'm going to throw you in a shock trauma plate in the front, just in case someone comes out with a shotgun.
Yeah, they only wear front plates, she's saying.
Yeah, it's the 6x9 shock trauma plate that goes in the center, right? Because it gives them mobility and everything else. They're not really militarized and all the good stuff, right? So those are just like what your common stuff. And that's why you got your special response units, you got your SWAT, wherever they're calling them. A lot of other patrol officers, they got their level 4s in the trunk. You know, if they respond to a barricade situation, someone's, cacking off rounds, going to lose their stuff, they'll go ahead and put on the level 4s. Your SWAT teams automatically roll out with level 4 standalones, right? Because it's a higher risk at that point. Once you call those guys in, all bets are off. So
to answer Chris Stevens' question, soft, steel, ceramic, or other, that depends on your perceived threat. You know what I mean? Everybody's situation is different. You know what I mean? So my daughter, Zadie book bag is downstairs, but there's a level 3A in her backpack. You know what I'm saying? That's worst case, worse. And that might be, for some parents, that might be a little bit extreme. That, you know what I mean? That it just, a soft plate in her backpack. You feel me? But that's maybe paranoid parents. But I don't perceive her threat being that much more before if it is, it's probably already too fucking late. Oh, excuse my language. Probably too late. 3. Probably too late. You know what I mean? So it just depends whether you looking at soft, steel, ceramic, level 2, and level 2A, 2, 3A, 3, 4, or you know what I mean? Or you want to wear the bomb suit because you that paranoid, the EOD suit because you that paranoid. And when I was in back in the days when I first did my little workups out in Kosovo back in the 90s, we had those old flap jackets from Vietnam. You know what I mean? Back in those days, we had the old flap jacket. Later on, we got the it was just a regular black thing like this, but it was like level 3 armor, and it had those stupid ass plates that poke up like this, the pyramid plates, the stupid plates that poked out like they were shaped strange. They was like they go like
so those were your sappy plates, right?
But they were narrow. They were like only like 6 inches wide, or they weren't very wide. They were just strange shape. Like, they were narrow. They wasn't like these.
Yeah, that could have been what your unit paid for. And again, right, you have different cuts, right? You got a shooter's cut, a swimmer's cut. You got sappy, E-sappy, X-sappy, right? And all those things mean stuff like by what they're rated to withstand, how far, how many hits, multi-hit, whether it's standalone, right? Because there's some hard body armor that requires a soft liner,
right,
in order to meet that level of protection. And again, it goes back to the back face deformation. If Whiteside's in here, they can talk about that transfer of force that leads to blunt force trauma injuries, right? Whether you have a penetrating wound or you got a blunt force trauma wound, because it's possible for a piece of body armor to stop a projectile, but it can leave so much force and transfer so much force into your body that it can do all kinds of internal damage to your organs.
Yeah, they were just like strange, but it was soft body armor. It was literally soft body armor.
Yeah.
And then it was later on in these things, these sappy plates didn't come till later, way later. Like, I didn't see these things till probably about 2004.
Yeah. So, I mean, they had sappy and everything else out there,
but it was a special unit type thing.
Yeah. They just kind of like trickled down and everything else, right? So, when you look at it, you look at the Battle of the Black Sea, right? The second Battle of Mogadishu, Black Hawk Down. Some of those guys made decisions not to rock rear plates, right? And some of them, paid a hefty price for it. So again, your body armor, what you wear, what you buy, should be based on the type, your threat environment. I'm not saying go out here and buy Company X plates that cost $1,200 a piece because you might not need all that. There's some reasonably priced body armor that is relatively well. Some of it is on the NIJ certification list, and some of it's not, and it still does what it's supposed to do. If you look at the NIJ certification, it reads, buy what you can afford. Some body armor is better than no body armor, and that's the mantra. Heard reports of people back in the day when they used to have phone books. People taping phone books up and getting nice with a phone book. And that goes back to hollow points and all this other good stuff. And getting stabbed. That was like, that was hood body armor. It works.
Shoo, you test it. Test the phone book.
All right, man. You got some at the house?
Nope.
Well, no, and what I mean by that is you can take like phone books and everything else, and you can shoot them, and you can see how deep your rounds penetrate and all of the good stuff.
That brother Demolition Ranch does that a lot.
And it's one of those things. It's just like the principles of having sandbags and everything else around your areas, right? Sandbags stop a lot of stuff.
What about that? The rear? You said the back face deformation thing.
Yeah, so your back face deformation, right? So, like in your, and this is mainly to deal with ceramic plates and soft body armor. Your back face deformation means how far that panel is going to push into the back. So if the panel ends right here and it pushes in like right here, I want to say NIJ stated like 50 millimeters, which is something like 2 centimeters, which is something like 2 inches, is acceptable, right? Because remember, when we're imparting all that force, it's going to go into your sternum, it's going to go into your other soft tissue organs and everything else, and you can have enough energy transferred where it can shear the lining off your heart. It can cause you to bleed out from your lungs. It can just get nasty. So you don't want all that force going into your abdominal cavity, right? It could essentially eviscerate you. Where's Whiteside when you need him? I need help. I'm not a medical guy.
You play this one on TV. Check
this. So when we're talking, okay, so Armel was talking about Zadie's backpack. So what's the best plate to put in the backpack? Soft armor?
So it depends upon your situations and everything else, right? So again, according to
we're just standard protection, not in the environment where say you have a lot of threats. You see what I'm saying? Just like I said, the suburbs, like where we live at or whatever, just for that little extra protection for a child.
That's tough because what size backpack, what size child? There's some stuff
under 10.
All right. So here's the deal right here, right? Here's a caveat. NIJ has not tested nor accredited any backpack ballistic panels.
They're not backpack ballistic panels. They just regular daggone sappy panels.
Hold on, but you didn't say that. You said backpack panels, right?
Yeah.
So now,
different type.
Yeah. So here's a caveat to that, right? If you're gonna put a panel into a backpack, that backpack needs to be cut to accept that panel, because what ends up happening is, if I got a laptop bag, I put a panel on that, right? This thing can hold a 17-inch laptop. Your average panel is 10 by 13, right? So now all that panel is slid over here, right? And then I get shot over here. Panel's not damn good. So you have to match, your carrier to what's being carried. With that being said, I would venture to say any panel that is suitable for that rated level of threat will be good to go into a backpack, right? Okay. Now, also keep in mind what else is in that backpack, because you're seeing strange things, how some bullets will get deflected if they hit a book, a calculus book, right? It could stop. That's like the luck of the draw, right? If it hits a calculator, it could do all this other weird stuff.
An iPad.
iPad. iPads are thin; it could stop, right? Then if you got small caliber, high velocity rounds, it might penetrate all the way through because again, that backpack, that panel wasn't properly taken care of because again, like how often do we spill stuff? We take it, we go through hot cold cycles, we bend it, so you start getting creases in it. You get a weak point in it, and that's one of the hard things about saying that because now you have to be on your game to change it out. It's just like batteries. Your batteries aren't going to fail in your flashlight until you need them.
Right.
Right.
I can't say the theory behind this, and I couldn't tell you. But when I thought about the process, it was kind of like after the shooting happened in Uvalde, Texas, with them kids, and mine's like I didn't want to put hard plates, heavy. I just wanted to put the lightest, most effective thing that could possibly nothing that could possibly, if something was to happen, to delay the time for me to get there. The issue is not so much the panel is useless. The issue is kind of like training her to utilize the backpack, and that's a whole different daggone story. But the panel is just soft. It's less than a pound. You know what I mean? It's lighter than an iPad, and it's just flexible. It's not.
You said hers is less than a pound, but I'm looking up here now at Premier Body Armor. So yeah, you can get some that's like a pound and some up to 2 pounds.
Yeah. And it all depends upon the cut and everything else. So there are companies that make backpack or ballistic panels for different carriers, I should say, right? Because it could be a messenger bag, right? And also in the boutique world where you start talking about, was it one of the John Wick movies where they made a bullet resistant suit?
Yeah,
they have that. That is they have that. There's people out there that do that. With the advent of the better technology and the fibers and everything else, you can get tailor-made clothing that's bullet resistant up to 9mm, 10mm, everything else. It's going to stop the bullet from giving you a penetrating wound, but it's going to hurt like hell because it's just like getting hit with a baseball bat, right? So, but again, I would rather walk with broken ribs than with holes in me, So there's stuff out there to mitigate those threats and everything else.
I got another question.
What's up?
So, say you got level 3, right? So, if I got level 3 plate, right, or 2 level 3 plates, do that make it a level 4?
Nope.
Or do that make it a level 6?
Nope.
I'm saying though. So I got 2 level 2s. Do that make it a level 4?
Nope. Because remember, your level 2 is soft body armor, right? I mean, in your mind, it's going to make it a 4. 2 + 2 is 4. But I'm telling you now, I'm shooting through that thing with the 22 Win mag.
So if I got two level 3s, right? And a single level 3 is rated.
You got 2 level 3s.
A single level 3, I think, is rated to stop 308.
Yeah. 7.62 by 51 M80 ball going at like 2,700 feet.
But not the armor piercing joint, right?
Yeah, not the API. No.
So a level 3 a stop up to like from the old standards from 2006 or whatever. The level 3 should stop like up to a 308 ball, not the armor piercing stuff, right?
Yep, yes, sir.
So if I put 2 of them together, do they stop the armor piercing one?
Probably not. So remember, right? Speed kills. So if you can get that velocity down and you can decrease that sectional density, then yeah, it might stand a chance, right? But generally not. So you want to hear something funny? You know what can stop a lot of bullets and everything else? Water. Just because of the way that the molecular structure of water doesn't compress.
It diverts.
It doesn't compress. So in order for it to divert, it would have to compress, right? That's why we use water for shape charges, right? I can use water as a directional charge to blow a hole in anything, right? That's why they put, like, you see those barrels on the side of the road, those are filled with water. They just let someone hit them and tear them up, man. It stops your car, man. So you could theoretically get IV packs if you tape them up real nice and tight and everything else. Those have been known to stop some rounds. You know, it's not 100% guaranteed, but you can, because water doesn't compress.
I wouldn't advise anybody try that at home.
Yeah, no. Hey, actually, if you do try it, video it. I want to see it.
I would not advise that somebody try that at home. But I'm saying if you stacking them up, like say this is a level 3, right? This is a level 3. If I put 2 level 3s, I make it a level 4. Or does it get more stopping power the more I stack them?
Yeah. So what's going to end up happening is, yes, you will get more stopping power, right? Just because that bullet is going to slow down as it goes through that medium, but it doesn't make it a level 4 because on its own it doesn't have the properties to stop what NIJ stated level 4 should stop and everything else.
Nah,
right?
for real. I know a lot of brothers out there, right? They just instantly go, I'm gonna get my plate carrier set up, and it's like, yo, I got to get this best thing. So they get this level 4, the $450 HESCO jump off, because that's what them boys that's jumping out of the helicopter got, and those plates is literally like 6 pounds per plate. You know what I mean? If you get the really premium one, I think HESCO ones, the $600 per plate one, those are, I think, 4.5 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
The hybrid ones with, what I mean, the standalone, I don't know.
Yeah. The tactical standalone plates.
Yeah, them things like $600 per plate.
That's cheap.
Yeah,
that's cheap.
On sale. So you got, what I mean, they getting that because my threat is level 4. Are you serious? So level 4, and it might be your situation where you live, you going against these, armor piercing rounds. But when I evaluated my particular situation, I was like, most likely it's going to be somebody with non-armor piercing range daggone ammunition that don't really. It might be, but you never know, because 5.56 can go through a level 3 plate if it's the green tips.
Yeah, so your M855 SS109 light armor penetrating, but remember that works on the mechanism of velocity. So a lot of times those things was designed for a 20-inch barrel to get that 3,200, 3,300 feet per second.
Drop a link for somebody to come in.
You're not losing much velocity and anything else. Hey, Ray, I'm trying to share my screen to you to show the NIJ body armor classifications where they talk about 2 alpha.
You're not sharing anything. I don't see anything up there.
Yeah, no, I can't get it to share because it's a document. What I'm gonna have to do is
open it.
Well, I got it open, man.
Yeah, you should be able to share.
It's not sharing that screen. So what?
So where do you pull it up from?
I'm going to send. No, I'm going to send you the. I'm going to send you the list. Actually,
put the link into the private chat and let Ray post it.
No. I got to work around.
Okay. Yo, T-Moo just sent me something, man.
There you go, man. You're going to be getting a lot of stuff from T-Moo, man.
Yeah, we just tried it for the first time. This shit ain't bad, bro.
That's 4.
Those are not. I ain't. Yo, that's my accent. I said the ship. I said the ship.
Okay.
Did you order some rice from Temu?
Some what?
Some rice. There's plastic pellets, huh?
Nah, I didn't get those. But I'm about to get these sneakers though. Them things is hot, boy. Get them Temu sneakers. Them shits is dope. Them things is nice.
Man, Howard J gonna love you, man.
Get me some Temu sneakers.
Howard J.
It's 90% off too. Look at them Temu sneakers, man.
He said 90% off.
So 90% off, bro.
So they're pretty much free.
Yo, it might got the Chinese tracker in it or something, man. Who knows, man? But the Temu sneakers, man. I'm gonna get me a pair of these. Let me see if they got my size.
Some Air Jordans with the upside down Jordans.
Nah, I don't want no Jordans, man. Temu make those too. They got the Jordans too. Word up. But yeah, drop the link, Ray, and see if somebody
Already
wanna
dropped it.
talk some stuff. Let me
Yeah. So Integrity Firearms asked a question, right? Certain caliper FMJs, pierce plates. Yes. So like your 270s, your 243s, very, very fast rounds. They will go through your body armor, right? Some of your level 4 ceramics, everything else. Trying to think what else. Your 243s, all the good stuff. Some of your 5.7 rounds will go through your level 3, right? Body armor. Some of your 9mm, your we was talking about that earlier. Which one was it? It was man. The company that's down in Florida.
Who Premier?
No, the
Safe Light?
Liberty.
Liberty?
Liberty Ammunition, right? Liberty Civil Defense has been known to go through your level 3 alpha body armor and your level 3 body armor, just because, again, it's moving at 1,900, 2,100 feet per second. So yeah, some of your FMJs will go through plates. And again, it goes back to, are we talking AR 500, AR 550, AR 600, right? And then also, how thick are your plates? So now that's that thing right there where we're competing. It's like, how thick of a plate can I get that I can wear and still be functioning? Because we all know that I can shoot still all day long. AR 500 still 3/8 of an inch thick, right? Half of an inch thick, rifle rated, right? I can do that all day long and not penetrate it. It will leave some dents and dings in it, but the harder the steel, the thicker the steel, less likely it's going to go through it. And that's where you make that that compromise, right? I want to be light, mobile, and agile, but I want to be protected, right? So you gotta come somewhere in the middle. Civil liberty, tech money. But hey, Integrity Firearms.
Tech money, what up, baby?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing tonight?
All right, how you doing, man?
All right. I'm gonna be real quick or whatever, but 2 questions, right? But
Biggs, what up, baby?
ain't that no, same old. But the AR 500, right? You said, well, I'm gonna start with what you said earlier, right? You know how you go to Safeway or whatever your supermarket is, right? The stuff on sale is pretty much about to expire. So you stated earlier about like the 5-7 year, you see what I'm saying, like lifespan,
yes,
or shelf life. I'm sorry, shelf life, or whatever in regards to the plates that you buy.
yes.
So using that same, I guess, like theory or whatever, when it's on sale is, you got to get it gone. So I picked up some level 3 plus. That's what it advertised as. AR 500 plates, right? Yeah, it was my first time with it or whatnot, and I got to get used to it. I know about like the weighted vest or whatever to get your body used to it, right? So I was like, okay, cool, fine. Loaded question. I want to get my wife one, and Armel touched on it, like for the backpack, but my wife isn't with that setup that I have because it's just like too heavy or whatever. So what would be a good start? Like you said, something is better than nothing.
Yeah, so you can get her like level 3 alpha soft plates.
Soft plates.
Right? Yeah, like I did with Zay, I did with Zadie Bad.
So hey Ray, I'm gonna share my screen. All right. And then if we can do that.
Because I just got the soft plates because it's light. It's not heavy like those these bigger ceramic type plates. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, but since you said ceramic, that's another question. Like ceramic versus like the steel, does it do the same thing? It's just one is lighter, and
if it's rated the same.
So your ceramic plates, like your ceramic is going to crumble and break. Hey, can you move Devil Road's comment so I can see who I'm talking to? I'm sorry for being a creep.
There we go.
So your ceramic, so your ceramic, right? is gonna get pulverized and break when it gets hit, right? So it's going to be done. It's like one and done. Once it gets hit, it's done. Now,
Gotcha.
a lot of your ceramics is multi-hit rated, means that it'll take several rounds before it's totally compromised. The caveat to that is the rounds shouldn't be stacked on top of each other. So to defeat that, what some companies do, they'll put a small disc in there to create space, or they'll put a thin metal coating in there to prevent it from the cracks from spreading,
Mhm.
right? So it's sort of like a windshield, right? You'll get a chip in your windshield, and they put that coating on there to keep it from spidering out or spreading out. Now, we all know if you hit a windshield in the top corner, that force doesn't have anywhere to go, so it's just going to go out and break, right? Or
Mhm.
if you used to break in the cars back in the day, that. So, and that's one of the things about ceramics. Again, ceramics have a lifespan, right? And we can pull up the list and we can show you what, like, the companies that's NIJ certified, they'll give you what their service life is. So just because you got something on sale doesn't mean it's about to expire, right? It just means that they might have produced all this. Because remember, once I produce it, I'm keeping it in a controlled environment. And most manufacturers aren't going to have all that product on hand, because all that product on hand is costing me money. I got to store it, got to count it, got to do this and do that. Okay. So a lot of these companies make made to order stuff. And then sometimes they may have thought they was going to get a big contract and they got option years, and they never went through with the option years. So they got stuff, over. So again, it's going to cost me just as much, if not more, to produce 100 for you, me, and the rest of us in the chat, is if I got a contract for 1,000 and I produce 1,100.
Yep, I got what you're saying.
You know
Because
what
I
I
was
mean?
kind of like, I kind of did like, I'm in the firearms, but this this body armor stuff, I have like no clue. So of course I did my my research or whatever, but researching and talking to somebody is like two different things. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, or whatever. So you can kind of really iron out, your curiosity
If
basically.
you have any questions, just email us at trinityarmsandgear.com. And Joe could probably get way deep because he educated me on like a lot. Because I'm just your everyday dude. And I bought
Yeah, me
plates.
too.
I bought some lightweight. I thought it was good, but Joe schooled me to where you go look up the company's name, their listing, the certification on the thing.
Gotcha.
The only question I got that I want to add up, but from what Joe was talking about, the AR 500 still, do those have like dates on them, Joe?
Yeah, so your AR 500 still, right? Depending upon what they coated with and everything else, the manufacturer have an indefinite life on them. The manufacturer say after 5 years. And one of the reasons that they do that is because as a civilian, I don't have a mechanism to send my ballistics in to get NDI. And NDI is a non-destructive inspection where they'll run it through a sonogram to see if there's any micro fissures or cracks in it. Because we do stupid stuff. We drop stuff, we kick it, we expose it to heat, humidity, temperatures, and everything else. So I haven't seen any place that's reasonable for us as civilians to go ahead and to do that stuff. So yes and no. AR 500 still has a 10-year service life. Some is indefinite, and that depends upon whether you got a covering on it, you got anti-spall on it, and everything else. I got this right here that shows how armor is tested and what they look at in the different levels. We can pull up some armor that's on the approved list, and you can see, who it's approved for, male, female, right? The service life and everything else. If you guys want to do that, I can't see the chat right now. What's the chat talking about?
And it's hard to see. It's hard to see the documents that you have up.
Yeah,
That's
it
right,
is.
man.
So, all right. Well, since it's kind
Not
of
me.
difficult, right? This was like one, and I get where you were going, with like showing it, but you know how like on the firearm side, you got high point, then you got atlases. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, yes.
what's a good? Of course, I mean, if that's all you can afford with a high point, then get a high point. But like, if you can get like a Glock, a Sig, you see what I'm saying? Like around that realm in the plate, you know what I mean, type situation. in regards to companies, or like, can you rip off like maybe a handful for like each category? Not a handful, but like break it down like Glock and say
I know guys
Staccato
that do
and
serious stuff, and they be rocking those Hesco plates.
Yeah.
But
So Hesco is one of the companies and everything else. And again, where do you go? Again, I don't want to sit down and say anything because I don't want someone to take that as gospel, and then it's not like for their requirements, right? I don't want you to go out and buy a
I ain't buying no
$1,200.
Hesco.
Man, I know you ain't buying nothing, man. Your place is probably expired that you got. That's why it's so cheap.
no,
So
but like I mean, why I opposed it in regards to like again, like myself or like whoever might be listening or watching
yeah,
back or whatever. Like, can you just give us like just the not gospel, but just like all right, well, if you here, you save a couple more dollars. You
There's
see
a
what I'm saying?
list.
You better.
There's a
all right.
list.
So like right now, I'm on a website. They got Hesco level 4 multi-curve 217, but they're sold out. That I would rock that. I would rock that, right?
Okay.
There's I want to say Spartan Armor. Some of the Spartan Armor stuff is NIJ certified, some's not. I think Spartan Armor does a good job with some of their armor and everything else. Here, let me.
He said $300. Chris Stevens said 300 is bucks, but if you're looking for bang for the buck, but I'm seriously, from a research that I've been doing over the past week, that 300 per plate is looking like, for stuff that's on that list, at what level are you looking for? You got to iron that out first.
Well, with me right now, I got it says level 3 plus. I got it from Tacticon Armament or Ornament or however
So
you
what
say.
level you trying to go to? Like level 3?
I mean, from like my research, I would want to stick with level 3 plus because I mean, I ain't in no wild area, but I'm kind of close to it. You know what I'm saying?
Options there.
like I'm kind of
Level
close
3
to
plus,
it.
the price, there's a lot of options at that point, at that price point.
Oh,
Then you're
man.
going to deal with the weight in the material from
Okay.
my research.
Yeah.
The
I'm just like a regular Joe, but like, I mean, we all see what's going on, or whatever. So, God forbid, man, my family, can be prepared to move
level
and be
3
okay
plus
with what
is
I'm
like
doing.
soft body armor, right?
Well, yeah,
No,
yeah.
these still plates. This is
No. So they have some still level 3,
yeah.
right? And again, the level 3 plus is a manufacturer's term that they said, hey, we've met the level 3 standards, but level 3 standards is 5 rounds, right? I fired 7, so that's level 3 plus, right? So again, that's a manufacturer standard, whatever that plus is. The NIJ standards, and again, they just say, hey, this is for law enforcement and military and everything else. Civilians, recommend you do this and all this other good stuff. This is what your law enforcement go off of. They don't recognize the 3 plus. Now, next year, they're going to revise their standards to go from handgun 1, 2, 3, I want to say, and then rifle 1, 2, 3. And that takes, the account that back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when they made this, the fastest 9mm bullet you was getting was only going 1,200 feet per second. Now you got 9mm going 17, 18, 1,900 feet per second.
Okay.
You got 357 SIG going 1,700 feet per second. Speed kills body armor, especially soft body armor, because it goes through the fibers. You got different bullet construction now, right? That's going to go through your fibers and stuff like that. So the revision was needed.
So now I feel like I done bought some bull, just keeping it all the way real.
No, you didn't. You didn't. Don't feel like that. You didn't. You brought what you got will work, right? But again, there's different levels to it, right? Because like certain, you have to take everything within the design parameters, right? I can't pull a boat with a Ferrari. I can, but I'm going to tear it up. Right. So it's not, so some things are only designed to do what they're designed to do. They're not, like Armel would say, they're not one of those rough and tough type dudes that go into this. They're, just that. So never feel like you brought something, you got finessed on something.
Yeah.
This right here is a learning game. This is why we do this. Ask the questions. If I don't know, because what I'm gonna tell you right now is, hey, hit us up on an email, and we'll go through all the questions you got, give you the recommendations. But what I'm not going to do on this platform is say, don't buy brand X, because I'm not.
Oh no, I wasn't going with it.
No. I'm just saying, because you know some people like, hey, you know, when I was in China and played ping pong, I played ping pong with just ping pong battle. I'm not going to do that because everyone has different requirements. I need to know what it like in your city. Is it hot? Is it humid? Is it cold? Do you have a whole bunch of temperature fluctuations? Do you keep your body armor, your kit in your car? That's a big concern. Again, not trying to get nosy, but what's your pockets like? Because we get like the good stuff or the decent stuff.
Heavy.
You have to replace that either every 3 years or every 5 years, right?
So basically, it's not no set it and forget it type of.
Well, some of it is. I mean, it's recommended you replace it. You don't have to replace it.
Okay.
I got a piece of body armor sitting down in my stuff that I had since GWAT. I don't know what the hell GWAT was, but I know 2001 I got this body armor. I wouldn't wear it. I mean, in the pinches, that's all I had. I was just like, well, shit, man, this is gonna hurt. You know? So and that comes from understanding. It's just like a car. We know it's recommended to change your oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Can you go 7,000 miles or 8,000 miles? Yeah. But once you start going on certain cars, you run the risk of everything seizing up. Right? When that little light comes on, get gas now, you better hope you can get over that hill.
Yeah, to get the gas. No, that's real. I appreciate that analogy. Like that.
I think with the AR-500, those have like I think those are like some of the least expensive options.
Yeah.
Regardless of the particular brand. And one of the reasons why they're least expensive because they're one of the most heaviest options in comparison to other options. You know what I mean? One of the benefits of those options is that it doesn't have the back face deformation like Jovi was saying. Like when the bullet hit it, the bullet is generally if it's rated for that caliber, it'll shred. You know,
right? I get that, but I thought that's what the trauma pads was for.
It'll shred, but ceramic are lighter. Yeah. But they have that back face deformation that will go in and hit you like and probably break some ribs or some other, you know what I mean, or probably cause some bodily but you trading off one thing for the other. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you have a similarly rated ceramic, like a level 3 ceramic versus a level 3 steel, you know what I mean?
I got you.
Level 3 soft. You're trading one thing off for the other, but that goes for your individual needs and your individual use. That's what I think Encyclopedia Joe was trying to say.
Yeah. No, I got it. No. Definitely the car analogy. I definitely got it. So definitely.
Man, I'm trying not to be too technical and everything else, man. Man.
That's what we're there for.
It's just one of those things. It's like, all right, what are your requirements? You know, and unfortunately, we see it a lot. Even with, and I will talk about this later on, even with selecting the proper size and fitment of your body armor. You know, because there's a way that you're supposed to measure and get your body armor and everything else, from your cummerbunds. Do you have a type with an assaulter's vest with cummerbunds on it? You just got the pull over that with the Velcro that comes over like that. So all those things are taken in consideration and is really based upon your needs. If you one of those bout it type brothers like Armel,
flexing out.
I stay out the way, baby. Nah.
Yeah, but for real, I learned so much in this past week or so, like researching this topic, that I figured out that there's no one size fit all for every given type thing. You know what I mean? So me personally, I know that I'm looking at different setups. You know what I mean? Because I know in any given particular situation. If I'm moving around, I want something light. But if I'm stationary, I would like to have something a little more heavy. If I'm in a car, I know that I would like to have side panels, because if I'm in the car and somebody's shooting at the car, whatever I got on the front and back ain't gonna help. You know what I mean? So I might want to have side plates. So there's a lot of different things that I'm considering as far as, like I said, it's not going to be a one size fit all. It's going to be a multiple options, so I could have these options depending on what I'm doing at that particular time and place.
Yeah, I definitely TV VCR combo the joint when I jumped in the game with it. Like, all right, okay, this and this together. All right, that sounds good, but that's definitely, I understand different applications, different setup. Basically.
Yo, but we talking about bulletproof. I'm gonna talk about bulletproof tactical skillionaire. Walk around, scare all the kids off.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up,
Oh, Skilly!
What's going on?
But look, I'm about to pop back in. What up, Skelly? I'm
What's
about
going
to same old. I'm about to pop back in the chat. But thanks for answering all the questions, brothers. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, no worries, man.
Hit us on the email, bro. That's all. If you got anything, just hit us. We're available.
Man, you don't even know, man. I'm about to screenshot this bullshit I brought.
Nah, don't even call it that. Yo, be proud of anything you buy, bro.
I get it. But
proud of
I want y'all
everything.
to look it over though, for real. Just to, get a little bit more where I need to go next. Basically.
Well, see, so and here's what we're gonna do, man. By no means are we experts or anything else. We're gonna give you. I'm not gonna feed you a fish for the day, man. I'm gonna teach you how to fish and let you make your determination based on that. And we all got questions, man. I called up Integrity Firearms a couple of weeks because I had a situation, had to get answered. I called it Whiteside Tactical because, like, I don't know how to patch holes in people. I hang out with people that put holes in people, and he gave me $1 million worth of knowledge. He didn't even charge me $9.99. So this is what the community is here for, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate
Send us
that.
on the email. If we don't know, we could direct you to somebody who do know.
Appreciate that. All right, y'all be easy, y'all be safe, all right?
All right, you too, bro.
All right.
Bulletproof Skilly, what up?
What's going on, fellas?
Not much. What's up, Skilly Dilly?
I don't know.
Say something, Skilly. Damn.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, look, Skilly. Wait, just to let you know, we ain't cursing up here no more, man.
I ain't cursing no more.
Nah, we put a stop to the cursing.
Yeah,
So
man.
Anybody that curse got to buy pack around box ammo. Yep.
Oh,
So go
wow.
ahead, man.
I'm going to make my words very carefully. Let me say what I got to say very carefully then.
Okay. Yeah, but another thing I want to address, because there seems to be a lot of, here go Whiteside in here. There's a lot of ladies in here about fitting for these vests. You know what I mean? I know my family members that are in the police that are females, they get fitted for, they get their stuff is a lot custom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They get fitted for it. But
Well, and again, we have brought that up that before it used to be one size fits all, or one size fits most, and that size was men's. And then as more and more females started getting into law enforcement and military and had the requirements of body armor, they realized that people had different shapes. So they had to take that in consideration and account for that.
So where would some of these ladies go to look for something? You know what I mean? Or you're a little bit wide around the chest.
Hey, so with that being said, what you should do, one, is get properly measured, right? Because that's going to determine what size plates you need, what size vest you need, and understand like if I want to go to Company X and Company X offers sizes in yellow, green, and orange, I have to find out what the parameters are for yellow, green, and orange, because all people don't do. Like everyone's extra large isn't the same. Everyone's small isn't the same, right? Then you have to figure out how do they measure, right? Then you go there, you get someone to measure you, and then you would send it off, right? So good companies would have like a rep for their carriers, right? So remember, the carrier is probably the most important thing, right? Because if you have a bad carrier, your plates aren't going to sit right and do what they're supposed to do. So then, like most of your plates generally come in 10 by 13 or 14, something weird. I can pull up the measurements here. But what we're going to do real quick is going to pull up the compliant listing. Hey, Ray.
Yeah.
I'm ready to ask you to share my screen. All right. So again, by no means is this an endorsement or saying one vest is better than the other, but this right here is just a list that you can get and look to see if the piece of body armor you're purchasing is accredited or has passed NIJ testing from an accredited laboratory, right? If we look right here, right, level 3 alpha female side opening, right? 5 years, this is still active. This one right here got suspended. Don't know why, but it's suspended. This one right here, 3 alpha, 7 years, right, is the warranty, right? 3 alpha, this is generally probably soft body armor, right? So this is a list of all the companies, right, that submitted their stuff to get accredited. And again, just hit us up. We'll send you the link, and you can see, before you make that purchase, and you can ask those questions. Hey, is this body armor been accredited? And is it still good? Because you might find some body armor in a pawn shop, right? So right here, level 2, female body armor, right? 3 alphas, all that other good stuff. And you'll start seeing like the cost difference once you if you go to these sites and you see how much the cost difference is in between the 3 alpha, the 3, and the 2 4, and the weight difference and everything else. Does anybody have any questions about this or anything?
So I'm looking at it, and honestly, I don't see any vest that says that is particularly for women.
Yeah, right here.
A female.
Female.
Well, yeah, I see that, but I mean, as far as when you go up here and you look, man, they're all the same.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The different companies that say they make vests for females.
Yeah. No, I just scrolled through about 4 different companies.
Yeah, I was looking at that, but yeah. You know what? Let me hold on.
You got your glasses
where's
on,
one that says female?
Granddad, you got your glasses on?
No, he ain't got them on.
I'm not trying to buy no ammo for nobody, so chill out.
Yeah.
Are you buying ammo?
Why you keep moving the screen, man?
Because I'm trying to find. So look, right? ATI female side opening. How many screens back you want me to go?
That's level 4.
All right.
So
you click onto the company on the right-hand side. You click on the company, you go to that website, and that website should have a list of female body armor. But
so right, so this is it right here. Oh, made in Babylon, New York. Right. So 7 years, 5 years. Pistol.
Mike, what's up? Yeah, because a lot of the influencers that's on YouTube, they give out like these one size fit all tactical plate carriers with all of this stuff, and they don't get into like I see the big fat, I'm saying fat, the voluptuous gentleman, the voluptuous gentleman, have like these tiny little standard size plate carriers with all of it, all you got to do is lay on the ground and shoot up, so it's but they can get stuff to fit, you feel me? And some of the ladies, they can get things to fit, but
all right. Hey, so speaking of
haven't been available. Go ahead.
speaking of body armor, right? So remember, body armor, it works in conjunction with your vest, right? So I can get the proper size plates to cover the area that I need to cover, right? So generally, your body armor is going to cover from the V notch in your neck down to approximately 1 inch above your navel, your belly button. That allows you to sit down, allows you to bend over, and everything else. You also other key points you have to take into consideration when doing those measurements for that. But your general plates, your general body armor is going to be, I forget the size. It's like 10 and a half inches to 13 inches and everything else. That goes your small, medium, and your large, right? And your extra large. Now, the biggest thing is the cut of the body armor and your vest. And if you want, I can segue over to a company that I highly recommend, or I can segue over to a company that I use for plate carriers, and they'll explain how they measure and like the difference. Because say if I'm a big guy, I got a very long torso, right? How you measure that, and then if I'm big around the girth, right? That's how you use your cummerbunds to make it fit, so it's not looking like a stuffed yam at Easter or Thanksgiving, you know?
Yeah.
Don't be
Yeah.
talking about love handles.
Maybe we could put together. Maybe next time we revisit this topic, we could put together like a PowerPoint deck. With
Man,
Joe.
I don't do PowerPoints, man.
Come on, man.
Now you a nerd doing PowerPoints. So here's your AR 500 armor, right? So that's one of the favorites I see a lot, and you know some of their stuff is legit, right?
Yeah, I got AR. I mean AR 500,
and they're on a list, so they legit.
Yeah, you know. So I mean, yeah, we can visit some of your plate carriers and everything else, because once you got the armor, you got to have something to put it in, and it needs to be, it should be good to go. You know.
So the armor is only one specific part of the equipment.
Yeah.
Remember, a lot of this stuff is a system. So you have the armor, and then you have the carrier or the vest.
Yeah.
Now,
so right here is a listing of all the approved, NIJ approved and certified female body armor, right? And again, the caveat to this is next year they're going to change this. You get new submissions all the time. Some people just don't want to submit their stuff and have the scrutiny of getting tested.
And if the company doesn't have the time to get their stuff scrutinized by a standard certifying authority, that means that you should think about whether you should take the time and invest in that company. If they don't feel like investing and getting their stuff certified, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far, man. But you know, it costs money to do that. But you know, scared money can't make money. But here's your point blank body armor, right? That's point blank's a big one in a law enforcement community and everything else, and with your armored guards and security and everything else. Some of these companies are household names that we know about. Some of them are so obscure that you know you've never heard of them, right, and they could be around the corner from your house. I'm trying to think. Any other questions on body armor and accreditation and NIJ and stuff like that? Safari Land, you know, we all know Safari Land from holsters and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so Second Chance, yeah, that's another one. Trying to think. Varanus. Right, so
they got one for a fat guy.
Say again.
See, they got one for a voluptuous gentleman.
So that's going to be in your plate carrier, because your organ size, your organ picture window isn't going to change. And I want to say like the largest plates they make an extra large comes in at like 10.5 by 12.5 nominal distance. That's going to cover White Side Tactical correctly It's going to cover everything, like from your lungs, all of those organs,
Organs.
that really, really matter. And then you add side plates, side SAPI plates. But here's a list of all of the companies that submitted um, body armor, right? So ATK, right? ATK Defense Systems. So some of these people, as a civilian, they will not sell it directly to us, but you can get it on the secondary markets, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's dope. That's
Right.
really dope.
So now I'm gonna stop sharing this screen and everything else. Now, if you guys want to talk about plate carriers and everything else, because that's another that's another thing. We can talk about that, how it matches up and everything else, right? Again, there's no this one is better than this one. It's all based upon your requirements.
Yeah, Chris Stevens brought up a topic, but with the plates, he said it says flat plates, curved plates, standard cut, shooter's cut.
Yeah.
I think you covered that already, though.
Yeah. So no, we touched on it a little bit as far as a multi-curve plate, a flat plate. You got your swimmer's cut, your shooter's cut, your assaulter's cut, and everything else. That's just like the angles on it and everything, right? So in the military, some units decide to go with smaller plates because it gives us greater mobility and maneuverability. Whereas your IOTVs, those are like huge, man. You're like in a you're like in a cocoon. You know what I mean? And you're like a turtle. It's just going to protect you. You really can't maneuver and do different things very well, but it affords more protection. Then also with the cuts, it's going to dictate what type of carrier you get, because some carriers are cut specifically for swimmer cut plates. Some will accept swimmer or shooter cut plates or spear cut plates. And the cool thing is like your swimmer cut plates and your shooter cut plates, like a swimmer's large is a shooter's medium, right? It fits. And that's just like one of those things.
I know a lot of the issues that I've seen with plate carriers is sometimes the plate carriers are the pockets in them are too small for some of the heavier plates.
Well, it's not that,
or they're made of, they got that T-move plate carrier, which shreds, it don't hold the weight over time.
So that goes back to, and this is one of those things where I really believe you get what you pay for, because again, right, what type of thread did you use? Are you using abrasion resistant thread? Are your seams bar tacked, right? Do you got like a proper stitch formation in there to hold that weight, right? All that stuff plays a part. That's why I can get one plate carrier for $100 and another plate carrier is $700. All that matters. The type of thread, the stitch formations, the hardware that's used, right? Is that plate carrier cut for SAPI cut plates, right? Is that plate carrier cut for swimmer cut plates or shooter cut plates? Because if it's not going to fit in. Right. One, is that plate carrier too big or too small for the plates you have? Right.
I had ran into something. I went into this. They have a local store 511. It's just a local. It's a local. I don't know if a lot of y'all heard about it, but around here, I think it's in Manassas over there. It's over in Manassas. I think it's Manassas or Woodbridge. One of them east side places. You know what I mean? So I'm over there. So I went in there. It was my first time in the store. They got, plate carriers. They got a whole bunch of plate carriers. And I was like, this daggone thing's $200. And I'm trying to be, I was just kind of like looking at them like, is it, you know what I mean? How do you determine the value? So I started doing some research on that, and one of the ones I like this one called Agilite. Like the K19, and yeah, I like, because it just seems like I just looked at the threading, and then in the back of the plate, like in between the plate and the body, it got to be vented, because I noticed with this cheap mediocre setup that I have, it's like if it's hot outside, I sweat inside the plate. Yeah. So I have to look for something that's vented, because the worst thing you want is like to be uncomfortable and take it off, and things go wrong. So you want your body to be able to breathe. You know what I mean? In your setup. So that's one of the things that I was looking at.
Hey, so let me ask you this. Now, what would protect you from fragmentation when a bullet hits a plate? Isn't there a possibility that you can get killed from that?
Yeah, so your fragmentation and everything else, right? Your spall, we call it spalling, right? So you can have an anti-spall surface on your plates if you're rocking hard plates. Your ceramic plates generally have a fabric cover over them and everything else. Let me pull up. So this company right here makes a lot of body armor and everything else, right? So you see, what in the hell?
Which company?
LTC. Yeah. So
I don't think we can see it. You said LTC?
Yeah. So can you see it now?
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
All right. So LTC right here, right? This company right here makes a lot of plates, and these are ceramic plates. If I can get it to stop spinning, there's a cover on there, right? There's a woven cover on there that's designed to trap some of the spalling that goes into it. So like it'll spall inside of that cover. And with ceramic plates, they're designed to, the round's going to go in and it's not going to ricochet or bounce off. That's one of the issues they have with metal plates, is the spalling. Now, can you get jacked up from spalling? Yes, because you got high velocity metal coming back at you. If it comes up, it can hit you in the neck. It could clip a jugular. You could just, get that silver, that golden BB. You get that golden ticket that Charlie had in the chocolate factory.
You more likely to have spalder from if I'm not, you correct me if I'm wrong, you're more likely to have spalder from metal plates.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What about spalder from ceramic or plates made of other material?
No. So no, because there's nothing for that material to go back against. It's highly unlikely. I'm not going to say that it won't happen or it doesn't happen, because you could get hit in something you have on your vest, right? You can get hit in an ammo pouch, and then it fragments and it spalls up and everything else. But a direct hit to the plate with ceramics, 9 times out of 10, you're just going to get that dust that comes out and everything else. The ceramic fragments. What else? Hey, does the chat have any questions?
Yeah, they're just talking about the dope. The HRTC is good and affordable. 100. That's another thing. I'm going to mention that to Chris Stevens. When Chris Stevenson, I was in 501, 511, right? Them plates in there is like $200, and they're not better than the HRT or the Agilites. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? It's like the threading is not better, but they charging a premium for them. Look like they came from Temu. You got to watch what you can feel the material. You know what I mean? Most people could tell good quality stuff when they feeling it and looking at it, man. But some stuff seem to be overpriced, bro.
Oh, absolutely, all day long.
Yeah,
because you got to pay to buy from the Gap. You know, but but I'm not saying nothing bad. I like their stuff in there. They got colors though. They got colorful stuff that they got colors. They got the purple one. They got the orange. They got the Hawaiian color plate carrier.
Man, okay, you're gonna get clapped, man. You're gonna get clapped and go over to that.
They got the Hawaiian color plate
Hawaiian
carrier.
silky.
Time to get pretty.
they got them flavors for you, bro.
Okay,
They got
man.
they got the teams. They got the Washington Commanders. They got the Pittsburgh Steelers in 5'11". Word up.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got all the flavors.
You're right. That's how people get clapped, man.
You got to rep your squad, bro.
Rep them. And you're gonna be sitting over there in that corner talking about how'd you get here? Washington Commanders, man. Don't be slipping. Yeah. I guess we need a bigger better field goal kicker.
You know, what integrity say? Because I ain't got my reading glasses on.
He said he iron deficient.
Yo, the best thing to do is don't get hit. Stay low. You won't have these problems. And like Joe said in the very beginning of the live, historically, only privilege or a higher echelon of people wore body armor at all. It wasn't a commonality with everyone. You know what I mean? Everybody wasn't a knight in shining armor, or everybody wasn't given the privilege to have chainmail. You fought with what you got. You know what I mean? So let's do the best with what you got, man, and make the most of it. And don't get hit.
Hey, go State Department.
Don't say State Department, because they got their own little, you know what I mean?
Go State.
No, don't go State. State is where the real stuff happened.
Hey, ask some boys down in Haiti, man. Like, yo, we got plane tickets for you guys.
We got plane tickets. Ask some boys down the block. They got play. Yo.
We don't talk about that on this channel.
We'll talk about the jump out of the airplane dudes. We ain't talk about those dudes in the khakis.
Yeah, first.
You know what I mean? The khaki pants, you know what I mean?
Like, you guys dress funny, man. All you guys get a group deal, man. All your clothes look alike.
You know what I mean? Why y'all the khaki and what they call it, the hiking backpacks.
Yeah, Merles. Yeah.
Merles. Yeah.
Merle boys.
Yeah. Them boys. We ain't talking about them, man.
Yeah, nah.
And they ain't on YouTube.
They all right, man. They all right.
They not on YouTube.
They on YouTube. They
out there doing that real stuff though.
You're looking at you, man. But no, hey, so is there anyone else in the chat got any questions or anything else, man? Just like hit us up at the email and we'll get you the solution sets.
Yeah. We'll look for the solutions, and I'll get Joe next time we revisit this topic to make a PowerPoint.
I don't do PowerPoints, man.
do a PowerPoint deck next time we come around to this topic. Is there any topics that anybody want to want to talk about? Just shoot.
Actually, if you could pin Chris Stevenson's comment.
All right, give me a second.
Because it's a very interesting comment, and I just got some caveats about that.
What's that?
Which one? Which comment?
You just have to listen to the people that do this for a living and take that information and run with it, Armel.
Yeah.
So the caveat that I have to that is the people that do this for a living, that's like doing this day in and day out, that's like really doing it, they're not paying for this gear. Right. And their budget is like you would go in there. Yeah, you would go in there and be like,
oh hell no.
Like, yo, like, what's up? Right. And so we have to take that with a grain of salt. We can look at what they're doing and everything else, and then we have to scale it down to our budget, because literally we got dudes that's getting given $700 Cry Precision pants and they mess them up in one day, be like, yo, I need some more pants. There's like, why you come here with that BS? You can just order some. You know, they got opens accounts to do that. Like, these are the guys that you can't go to Black Hills Ammunition and get that 77 grain OTM Mark 262 Mod 3 because some jackalope just brought the whole lot of production. Right? So, Chris, I understand what you're saying, man. We can mimic them, but man, my pockets ain't that deep, bro.
Yeah,
Hell no.
and even in like the training aspect of, I see cats going out on the weekend and doing some stuff, and they're getting real good with what they're doing. But if you expect them to get up to the level of these dudes that really do this stuff for a living, your round count doesn't add up to these unlimited expenses. These dudes just like shooting, 5 to 7 days a week, 4,000 or 5,000 rounds. You know, if I could shoot 4,000 or 5,000 rounds every single day for a week, I'd be nice.
Some of that goes to, like, when they go through their qualifications courses and everything else, and then they'll go to wherever they're going to work at these places. Some of that stuff tapers off. They start doing other things, but they still got that background to where they can go to an indoor range, just like we get up and go to the corner store.
Yeah,
but still, and Chris, I agree with you too that we can look to what they're wearing, what they're doing, because they're on the forefront of technology, the cutting edge stuff. That's where we develop the lighter weight plates, the shooter's cut, and all this other stuff, the assaulter's gear, the recce vest, and all other good stuff. So we can always mimic that and bring it back to us. But again, I don't have the money to go out and get the Cry Precisions and the castle mounted peltors and everything, like the new hotness, like the Bluetooth peltors. You know what I mean? I can't, man. I can't.
Yeah, the Bluetooth ops core jump offs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like some of those ops cores, man, with the mandibles and the face shields, just like the regular ops cores that some of these guys was rocking is 15 Hondo. Yeah.
Then on the other side, you know what I mean? These guys get stuff for, they do things for mission purpose. What their mission purpose is not, Armel sitting in the burbs. I'm not going against nothing. Like, I ain't doing no raiding. I ain't doing no production. You know what I mean? I ain't going against no tanks.
He ain't doing none of that stuff, but he's sitting in his studio in a vest with magazines.
Yo, I do it for the flex, baby.
Hey, Armel gonna make a video, man.
Yo,
hey, he gonna make a rap video.
I look good though, right? I look good though.
Let's not go that far, man.
I ain't gonna
look good. Look at yo, my beard is lovely. I'm looking good, baby. Well, anyway, man, I know that I have to justify the cost. All I'm talking about is justify the cost. You know what I mean? If I know that I have an imminent threat and this threat is coming hard, and it's one of these jump out boys, I'm out there like that, I have to match my threat.
Nah, man, you just should have made better life,
and not just in my equipment, in my training, and my health, and my all of this. You know what I mean? I need to be out there running and push upping and working out and everything. So everybody, we're gonna emulate this Gucci gear, and we're gonna try to emulate this shooting, but then my health is suspect. You see what I'm saying?
Nah, man, you just made bad life choices.
Yeah, I look good though. I look good. I look good for 50.
Oh man.
But yeah, if you could afford it, if your pockets can stand it, I'd do it. You know what I mean? But I got other bills to pay. Integrity said it. If my bread was like long like that and I could justify the cost and explain this stuff to my wife, I have Cry Precision or Terex, you know what I mean, Agilite, daggone Hexacon and all of that. What's that HT? All of that hotness. I'll have it all.
See, you guys are thinking too narrow, man. If my nickname was Long Doe, I just hire people to do that stuff for me.
But I look at past wars, you know what I mean, past wars and past guys who really did this. Those boys was in the dark areas of Southeast Asia in Levi 501s. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
They were down there doing the things that wasn't the Vietnam War, but they was out there laying it down. Those boys down in South America, and those boys down in Haiti, those boys down in Africa, they out there doing it with daggone Levi Dockers on, those damn khaki pants. They really out there doing it with
skinny jeans and assault weapons.
Yeah, they out there doing it with less. And they ain't got the Gucci. Sometimes they have to operate with what's ever available at that time. You know what I mean? So if you can't have American stuff outside of in certain countries, because you get immediately identification that they leave a footprint. So they got to work with what's there. You know what I mean? And that's just the type. And those are dudes that do it every day.
Hey, Ray.
You know
Yo.
Hey, I want to share one last thing to caveat what Armel just said. And so this guy, the guy in the white shirt, right? Right, the guy in the white shirt, he looks like a nerd, man.
Khaki boys.
Right, a straight geek. That was one of the sergeant majors. He was one of the plank holders of Delta. His resume is he's EOD and everything else. If you see him on the streets, you would tell him to run his pockets. Stone cold killer. The guy in the white shirt, stone cold killer, man. And those are the guys that's like getting it done in the low vis ops and everything else, right? Now, some of these guys you can tell no one wears photographer's vest and stuff like that. You know, you can kind of tell, look at their footwear, it's all gonna be the same. But like Armel said, you got guys just like going out there rocking that. And if you look under there, he has low visibility body armor on, probably titanium plates and everything else. So there's options out there, but I can't afford $2,000 titanium plates, man.
These boys, of course, these people I run into, you know, they work for some aspect of the State Department, is ground branch, and I talked to one of them anytime, and he had the cheapest. He don't believe in buying expensive guns, you know, and these people, he really doesn't. He don't believe. He's so far in it, he don't even believe in body armor. His whole saying is don't get hit. He don't even.
Hey, but you know,
and that's what kind of like I get it from.
But hey, that's a quick segue into next week's topic too. You know, so we're going to be talking about cover and what's going to keep you from coming to the boom room. You know, so,
the upper room.
Legal has checked in.
So yeah, that's going to be our cover next week. You know, we'll sit there and talk about cover and different types of cover. You know, good cover, bad cover, everything that goes around that.
Yeah.
You know?
But yo, there's other, you know what I mean, there's other people out there other than these jumping out of the helicopter guys that be that's selling us a book or some training programs. It's real out there. It's real out there. Yeah. But don't get shot. You know what I mean? You know how what you say, Ray?
Huh?
What the graphic that you made what the other day?
Which one?
Fast, not last.
Yeah.
Shoot fast, not last, boy. You know, like Jay-Z said, squeeze first, ask questions last. You know, don't get hit. You know what I mean? Don't get hit. Because regardless of what kind of gun you got, how much daggone training you got, what kind of body armor you got, don't get hit.
Don't get hit.
It don't matter. It really don't matter. Don't get hit.
Yeah. And you know, and then there's also things that go along just with um you know, body armor only goes so far and does so much. Now, if you take a a hit to the gut or a hit to the side, you're not rocking side plates. It's just like you spent 15, 20 minutes setting your kit for nothing. If you take a shot to the femoral artery, you know, you could bleed out. You know, I was just like, man, you wore all that stuff for nothing. So it's a
And
roll of
here's
the
hard.
dice. It's a roll of the dice, but you want to stack the odds in your favor.
So if you rolling in vehicle borne operation, you and your boys going, y'all rolling in some, Walking Dead type situation, scavenging, and somebody shooting you in a car and you ain't got no side plates, man, because you want to be like the high speed, low drag that's doing all the offensive operations. You know what I mean?
Well, and
Well,
you're making an assumption that you know that one shot is going to get you. So interesting but true story, right? Colonel Nick Rowe,
Or even
fifth group,
IEDs, bro.
yeah. Well, Colonel Nick Rowe is a fifth group guy from Vietnam. He founded, you know, his exploits was help found modern day Sears Force, Sears School, right? High risk. He escaped from POW camp, Vietnam, everything else, set it up, came back. He was working as an LNO in Manila, and you know they got word that they was going to try and kill him. So he did all his stuff and everything else. They cacked off a round and killed him. And what got him was the door jam, the door sill, a window of opportunity about that big. Bullet went through and clacked him.
oh,
So you know that sucks, man. But it's one of those things. It's food for thought. Um, you're right. You know, if you're not rocking everything you can rock, um, you know, you're out there perpetrating, man. Just uh, go out with everything you can afford and you can get. Get the best you can get. Some armor, some protection is better than no protection, right?
Right.
Except for when it comes to, you know, wrap that rascal up. Don't try and work on your pullout game because I got child support. I'm telling you now, man, pullout game is weak. That shit don't work,
I
man.
used to have it. It don't work.
It don't work, man.
It don't work. It's very expensive, man. It's very expensive, man. You stay low. Stay low, man.
I was staying low and it got good. You know, like gig
You pop your head out.
Here we go, boy. Y'all. What time is it? Y'all
Oh,
just took
well,
it
We got
to
about 10
a
minutes.
whole
About
other
13
level.
minutes. Take us out of here. Red Dawn ready. What's up?
Yeah, hey, I just want to say
Designs,
thanks to
Phenoms,
everyone
what's
in the
up?
chat. And again, if you guys got any questions, just go ahead and hit us up. We got our IGs out there and everything else. You know, we're not trying to sell this game. We're going to point you in the right directions and walk with you on this path because as we do this, we learn stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
and I learned a lot. So if you want to support the channel, man, hit us on a Cash App. The Cash App is up here.
Man, hey, you dress like you can go get a lick. You don't need no cash app. You're gonna tell everyone to run those pockets.
Man, I'm waiting for my optics so I can go play with my new toys with my hood rat friends.
There you go, man.
You know what I mean? I'm saving up, man.
And gentlemen, this is the reason why you need body armor. Because throughout for life, he trying to get a lick. He trying to catch someone slipping.
Yeah. I ain't trying to catch nothing slipping, man. Nobody slipping, man. But just don't get caught slipping. Just don't get caught slipping. Keep your head on a swivel and make sure you stay healthy and take care of yourself most of all, man. Because all of this shit, got it. All of this stuff that we have, whether it's the firearms, whether it's the vests, whether it's the plate carriers, whether it's the thermals and all of this stuff. If you're not taking care, if you're not maintaining the weapon that arms them systems, you done. You know what I mean? Take care of the weapon, the mind, and your body, bro.
That's it. Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself, and then take care of your family, and take care of those around you. Because regardless of that, if it's a weak link, it's going to get exploited. You see what I'm saying? So take care. This is a community, man. So, and a community doesn't stop here. It stops with your neighbors. You know what I mean? Be good to people, man. Be good to people. Too much backstabbing and you know what I mean, stuff going on, man. Just stand up, 10 toes down. 10 toes down, sharp mental health, like Skilly always say. You know, grand emotional intelligence. Don't let nobody get you mad. Control your own emotions. Don't be so damn sensitive, and you know, be a gentle person, a gentle man, a gentle lady. You know what I mean? And, you know, and that's going to keep you alive a lot longer than all of these exterior factors. You know,
Yep.
a lot of these exterior factors are just cushion for us to feel confident. You know, so don't get shot. Apologize first, even if you wrong. Sometimes, you know, you gotta feed somebody else's ego. You know, do that. Do that to get home. The whole purpose is to get home.
Damn, Armel, you make me want to go out and buy the world of Coke, man, and sing Hakuna Matata.
I'm a Pepsi, bro.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, I got that from Skilly, man. Stay strapped, get clapped. Right? All that stuff, man. Grandma taught us some manners, man. Use them.
Hey, so Carbon just dropped there in the chat. I guess 2A in LA is coming on next. So,
but no, he's already on. Look like it.
I take it with that.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone in the chat, thanks for rocking out with us. You got any questions? Man, I got the disco, man. That gotta be our
melody. Hey, that's the boom boom rum, baby.
Nah, that's Philly on the side.
So
bro.
yeah, so that's what we look. Like I said, next week we talking about covers. So you know,
hey, that's Skilly in the middle.
Huh?
That's Skilly in the middle.
Oh no.
Hey. So yeah, so next week is going to be all about cover, inside, outside your house, you know, around your vehicle, like I say, inside, outside the vehicle, best place to you know, duck for cover if you're outside your vehicle. So that's what we're going to be talking about, you know, next week, you know. So with that being said, I mean, I guess that's it.
Yo, go look at some fancy dancy guns with 2A in LA.
Here he go. Here this dude go. Now I think he's doing a giveaway today if you're a member. So
okay.
Yeah, I think it's a gun. I don't know. So I think it's a gun. So yeah, everybody, if you're not on,
away a Gideon optic.
Huh?
He's giving away a Gideon optic.
Okay, all right.
I don't know what he's giving away. Let me stop capping. But yo, yo, he need to give away one of those Phoenix.
All right, hey guys, thanks for joining us.
Hey, so we out of here with that, you know, before Mel.
Virginia Bushcraft, hit us in the email. Virginia Bushcraft, hit us in the email at Trinity Arms and Gear. I've been trying to reach out to you.
Hey, I got his number. I'll share his number with you. So hey, so we out of here. Y'all take it easy. And it was
Whiteside
chat with everybody.
All right,
Peace.
that's what's up. It's great.